Welcome everyone. Thanks for spending your time here at SAPPHIRE. I know there's a lot of information and a lot of choices here, so I very much appreciate you spending a few minutes here with us. And want to add a few questions. I asked a few of the members here what systems they have, so I'm going to talk to both HANA and S4 HANA. I also have some customers running SUSE already, so I'm going to accentuate some of the really cool features that SUSE brings to the table for SAP systems. So we'll get to it. They want to keep it to 15 minutes, so I'll try to make it faster than usual, so I'll try to hit the main points. So a little bit about myself. I'm Patrick Ostrhaus with Protera Technologies. I'm CTO of Protera. I'm going to go through a really brief introduction on Protera. We are a global company. We're based in Chicago, Illinois. We have offices around the world. And we have two main lines of business. We have AppCare, which I'm going to briefly touch upon. That's our managed services. And we also have FlexBridge, which we're going to talk to today on the recommendations for looking at migration to HANA and S4 HANA. And our focus is around the SAP space, which you can see we have 5 certifications, all global certifications from SAP. We just earned this in January. We've had our certifications for over 10 years in North America specifically. And as I said before, we're focused on the SAP space primarily. So that brings us a lot of experience for what we want to bring to you as some high points, some focus areas when you're looking to migrate to HANA and S4 HANA. The AppCare platform includes on-premise, so if you're looking on-premise, going on-premise, these migrations, we'll talk about those in detail, as well as going to a private cloud or coming from private cloud and going to public. So we have a lot of use cases here. We'll talk to just a couple here in this presentation. And this AppCare solution we provide talks to the full stack. We provide services, managed services for SAP for all the cloud, or if it's on-premise, for all areas, including the infrastructure, the compute, storage, network, as well as all the provisioning setup and operations once the system goes live. And although we focus on SAP, we also fully administer and will design solutions around systems that plug into SAP. So this includes the Microsoft solutions. We also got Windows, Office 365, the SharePoint, Active Directory, and any tie-in, any plugins that SAP has that runs, we'll fully support those as well. Our capabilities are around the design, architecture design, which we're going to talk about a little bit today, about sizing the systems, making sure that you have it running on the proper hardware. And as you know, there's a lot of requirements from SAP when you look at HANA and S4 HANA with requirements. And it's interesting, S4 may lighten the requirements from resources, yet it's going to tighten some requirements around operating systems and versions. So it's something to be cognizant of. If you go to HANA first, you might be able to run a lower version of your source system, but when you're looking to go to S4 and jump directly to S4, you may have to upgrade your database and operating system. It's very common, we're seeing. A little more on this, we're going to talk just real briefly about running systems in the cloud, and again, this optimization phase. There's one slide specifically I'll focus upon around SUSE and advanced features on SUSE around DR and HA. So last slide about us. This is the focus upon this IPO Services Platform and bringing the best of cloud and these private cloud solutions and bringing that to our SAP environments. So again, these 5 options, these capabilities that cloud brings us, all apply to migrations. And I'll touch upon these a little bit when we go through the methodology. So we talked about AppCare foremost. Let's jump into FlexBridge and the migrations. We'll get right into it. So the first focus point when you're looking to go upgrade your SAP system and you're looking to go HANA and S4 is the focus around your cloud strategy. So we're going to look at this first, and the place you start with is these existing SAP applications, and you're choosing between upgrading path, which is the lower portion, and the upper portion, which is redeployment. So these are certainly options for looking, especially around S4 where you're going to do a new install. We'll come back to this slide, but I'll jump to new deployment. Around SUSE, SLES version 12, there's 2 very quick ways that you can build a system. This is for the 2 prominent public clouds, the first being AWS. You can go to their marketplace and you can run the latest version, which is SLES version 12 SP2, and this is going to give you a lot of these great features that I'm going to talk about once you're live. So this is one way to kick off the instance. And also for Azure, similar marketplace, go in here, start the instance, and within minutes you're going to have a running SLES system. There's a few additional steps which can be fully automated to build HANA right now, and encourage you to look at this, and you can follow up with me separately after this meeting to get more information on how you can do that. Just a few things I'm going to add around SLES, really important features especially for HANA and S4 HANA. Last year, it was announced live kernel, so this allows you to patch your system without bringing down the system down for extended hours. So you can do your quarterly patching, make sure that all your systems are fully secure in the OS. You may require SAP to get a quick bounce because you may have to upgrade the kernel, which requires a start-stop of SAP. Yet this allows you to do many more updates of your operating system running SLES versus other operating systems. And there's a lot of features here. We're going to talk to a couple of these a little more in detail later in the deck here. But key parts, there's built-in replication. That's the key part here. So both for HA and DR, there's some really great features that SLES provides you for HANA and S4 HANA, as well as the encryption capabilities. So something to take a look at. There was a very good presentation yesterday from Hannes of SUSE, and he presents the options around encryption. So I encourage you to look at that if you're looking to go to HANA and S4 HANA. So let's go back to our journey here. So when we start this, we're going to look at, is your business functions driving you to go to S4 immediately, or do you have the opportunity first to go to HANA and re-platform your system? This is a key point, and talk briefly to one of the members here. They're looking to go to HANA first, and for the key reason that this allows you to re-platform your infrastructure. You can go to public cloud or private cloud or still run on-premise, but get all the benefits of HANA. So you can do this without a vast upgrade to SAP. So it provides the opportunity to capture those improvements on the analytics, size or smaller footprint of the SAP system, and it provides a perfect jumping point to get to S4. Although it's not the scope of this webinar that what we're going to talk about, the point on getting to S4 is you need that launching point of HANA. When you get to HANA, then you have the code base to then establish and enable S4 HANA. So once you have HANA, then there's the implementation piece to get to S4, which you can run concurrent once you're on HANA. So we'll talk a little bit more about this and what are the things, the considerations to look at. Once you've mapped out if you're going to go to HANA or S4, considerations you have to look at for your environment. So we're going to jump through in a few slides what this is, this report, but foremost, we're going to start with the review, and you can do this yourselves to see what versions of your environment of all the software. So this includes the operating system, the database, SAP, and all those components. Because we're going to have to verify and validate, especially around HANA, if it's going to be fully supported, and especially around S4. So you have to look at this. And SAP has some really good tools to help with those assessments to go directly to S4, and this is mapping on the business processes level. So I encourage you to look at that. Through this, we have an automated way now to provide these features, and I'll get to that in a few moments. So before we jump to the automation and how we can do these migrations today, I want to take a look because one size may not fit every application, and there's some applications you can just do a copy of that system directly to the cloud if you're looking to migrate, and some systems may not fit directly into HANA or S4. Maybe it's not you want to spend the HANA licensing dollars on smaller systems, so maybe they'll fit better in Sybase. So in these scenarios, we can do a lift and shift, which essentially is going to be a copy of that system, and there's many mechanisms and ways that we can accomplish that. You can do a backup of the system. You could set that system up as a DR and fully replicate that to do this migration. So that's not going to change any of the versions though. You're not going to upgrade SAP or the database or operating system, but it provides you a like for like, you can migrate that system. So certainly an option. Those can be done with little to no downtime. Now the OSD by migration, this capability allows you to do one of your transformations. So you can, if you're on a non-SLES environment today, you can now migrate to SLES and run a supported database by SAP. So this provides you this option. To do this, there's a myriad of ways you can do that. Most of them are going to require some downtime. So this is certainly an option. This was the option up to a few years ago when SAP provided some new tools, which I'll talk about next. So FlexBridge is a product that we've built and a service that provides software automation of SAP's install and upgrade tools and migration tools. And the focus is upon the cost savings by reducing the time for migrations and reducing the downtime window. That's a key driver for all migrations, that we have to make sure that it's at most done within a weekend. But that weekend time also has to be able to provide time for all the system backups and all the testing and all the re-enablement of interfaces. So it's not a full 48 hours. We like to try to limit our maximum downtime up to 24 hours, even for the largest systems. So the key focus here is around the migration, is treat this as an opportunity to do multiple transformations at one time. So it's not just doing the migration to cloud or migration to new hardware if you're on premise, and then looking to go to SAP upgrade or doing a further transformation. With FlexBridge and the SAP upgrade install tools, we can provide a replatforming of all these areas at once. And the key part here is you can then accelerate and compress those migration projects into one downtime, one test cycle. So we can go from multiple year projects down to a few months. So now I'll get back to the assessment. So we talk about key areas that you want to focus upon when you're looking to migrate. What we've done is we've automatically provided, we've automated the process for doing this report. So what we do is we have an ABAP program that you'd run in every system you want to migrate. And in this ABAP program, it's going to look at each system in detail, and I'll show you the steps here in the next slide. And with that data, we're going to provide an executive summary. That executive summary is going to provide a high-level approach, the project plan, the costs associated with it, as well as any remediation items to go specifically to HANA. And again, that's the key point. If you're going to S4, get to HANA first. This provides you the opportunity to do that migration later then, and look at the remediation steps, including if you have to do a database upgrade, the operating system upgrade, any patching, or if you have a Java system, to pull that Java system off the ABAP system, because that has to be separated before we do a migration to HANA. And also looking at all the components of the system. So there's some components that are not compatible yet for S4. SAP continues to build the support level and the capability, that umbrella of what's fully supported in S4, but we still want to know the roadmap there. So if you have specific add-ons, for example, looking at if you have archiving solutions, we want to make sure that's fully compatible going forward with S4 and making sure it fits that roadmap. So how we do this is we're going to provide you the ABAP program, as I mentioned, and it's going to create a text file. So you can see exactly all the data that we pull from the system. That data is then sent to us, and then we generate this report automatically. The system, we're not going to query any company-sensitive data, no revenue, no sales information. It's just going to be all the vitals, sizing information, versions, that's going to be pulled. And it's a complimentary service we're providing here for all Sapphire attendees. So feel free for you guys to take a look, take advantage of this free report. So have a few use cases we want to touch upon, and actually Ranjit from Fitch is here. Thank you for joining, Ranjit. So you'll see Fitch Ratings here mentioned. Fitch is currently undergoing their production migration that's going to go live next month in June. With FlexBridge and the automation software, they're undergoing the HANA migration and OS migration, going to SLES all at one time. So again, one downtime, doing the multiple transformation, and you'll see here momentarily what their versions, their source and target are in the next slide. And then also Pacific Drilling, which just received an award yesterday, HANA Innovation Award, for innovative use of HANA technologies. We did the migration into public cloud for Pacific Drilling. So encourage you to look at their case study. They have a write-up that's available on the SAP website. Very interesting around how they use cloud and the HANA system for benefit for lowering their costs of their systems. So specifically for Fitch Ratings, they had the ECC 6.0 environment, Enhancement Package 5. They actually upgraded their environment to Enhancement Package 8. And they upgraded from Oracle 11, and they went to the latest version of HANA. I should say the latest version you can upgrade to today. The latest version is 2.0. Upgrade's not supported yet to migrate to. So we have version 1, SPS 12, and the roadmap of the upgrade path from version 1, the latest patch 12, will be very simple for version 2. And then also the migration from Red Hat to SLES version 12, which is going to give them some really cool features, which you're going to see in the next slide. And they did this to public cloud, so a migration on all those levels were performed and going live here in the next month. So this is the ECC environment, very similar for BI, 7.3 to 7.5. And notice the downtime, the requirements for 12 hours for the BI system to provide that window for doing that within a weekend. Oh, there's one slide out of order, but I'm going to get to, once you're on the cloud, and I'm running out of time here, so I'll try to make this brief. Once you're there on SLES, either on-premise or in the cloud, it provides you many options here now that you can take advantage of. And I'll focus upon just two in this because we're running short on time. And that is the HA option, which is number 2, as well as number 5. So the great thing that SLES provides for HANA and S4 HANA is built-in capabilities where you can do the failover within the SLES software, and coupling that with the HANA technology, you can do the application failover between 2 nodes. What's significant here is this can be done over multiple regions, multiple data centers. So that's what's shown in this slide. As well, you can set up for 5 a disaster recovery. So very simple to set up this pair, and SLES took it to another level. With the most recent version, they now provide a solution called cost optimized. And within that can provide what they call a pilot light. So you would have a production failover system, but you do not have to have that production environment running all the time as a target. So significant cost savings there as an opportunity if you're running SLES for HANA. So encourage you all to take a look at it. If you have any questions, you want to get more information, we have a kiosk right here, and we also have booth 477 right down. And I think that's my time limit, so thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you, Patrick. Awesome.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Way to blast through it.
Wow.